Hey everyone, welcome to Ultimate Store Kit. In this quick tutorial, we're diving into the Image Hotspot widget in an interactive way to showcase products on your WordPress site. Easily add clickable points to images to highlight features, details, or info. It's perfect for product displays, infographics, and store layouts. Great for e-commerce, portfolios, or learning content, and boosts engagement with a more visual experience. Ready to level up your online store? Let's jump in and see it in action. To get started with the Image Hotspot widget, begin by typing Image Hotspot into the search bar on your editor's left side. Once the widget appears in the list, simply drag and drop it onto your editing canvas. As soon as it's placed, the widget will load with its default layout. Please note that this is a Pro widget, so you'll need to have access to the Pro version of Ultimate Store Kit to use it. Once added, navigate to the Content tab to start customizing your widget. The first section you'll work with is labeled Image Hotspot. Here, you'll be able to choose between two layout types, Tooltip or Slider. If you go with the Tooltip option, product information will appear as a small floating box when users hover over the hotspot icon. On the other hand, selecting the Slider option will display product details in a sliding panel when the icon is clicked. For this demonstration, we'll be working with the Slider layout. Below that, you can upload and replace the main image that serves as the background for your hotspot display. You'll also have the option to select the hotspot type, either an image or an icon. Further down, you can determine the slider position, choosing whether it appears to the left or right of the hotspot. Finally, you can enhance user interaction by picking from one of 4 slider effects: slide, fade, cube, or flip. Choose whichever effect best matches your design aesthetic. Moving on to the query section, this is where you define the source of your product data. You can select from 4 source types: product, manual selection, current query, and related. After setting the source, you can limit how many products appear by setting a product limit. Within this section, you'll also find 2 helpful subtabs: Include and Exclude. The Include tab allows you to filter and display products based on specific criteria. For better visualization, it's recommended to temporarily switch your hotspot type back to icon under the Image Hotspot section before continuing. Then, in the Exclude tab, you can prevent certain items from showing, giving you more control over the displayed content. Next, you'll find the Additional Options section, which contains 3 subtabs: Content, Badge, and Action Button. Under the Content tab, you can enable or disable the visibility of product information, like the title, category, rating, and price, using toggle switches. You'll also see an option to set the image resolution. Switching to the Badge subtab, you'll find toggle switches to show or hide various labels, such as sale, percentage, stock status, trending, and new. Just below, there's a setting called Newness Days, where you can define how many days a product will be labeled as new. In the Action Button subtab, you can choose to show or hide 4 key action buttons: Wishlist, Compare, Quick View, and Add to Cart. These features help enhance the shopping experience by giving users quick access to essential product actions. Now, let's explore the Hotspot Settings section. Here, you'll see a list of your current hotspot items. By clicking on any one of them, you can manually adjust its X and Y position on the image to place it exactly where you want. You can repeat this process for each hotspot. If you need to add more hotspots, simply click the Add Item button at the bottom. These are the essential content and functional settings of the Image Hotspot widget. Now, let's switch over to the Style tab to fine-tune the appearance of your design. Under the Style tab, the first section you'll work with is again labeled Image Hotspot. This area is divided into 3 subtabs: Normal, Hover, and Active. Within the normal state, you can customize the icon color, select a background type, and set values for border type, border radius, icon background size, and icon size. You'll also see options for adjusting the shadow pulse color and shadow pulse size to add some animation flair. In the Hover sub-tab, you can change the icon color, background type, and shadow pulse color that appear when the user hovers over a hotspot. Similarly, in the Active sub-tab, you can define the same style settings for the active click state of the hotspot. Next, we move to the Product Items section. Here, you can adjust the gap between the hotspot icon and the slider image. You'll also see two sub-tabs, Normal and Hover. Under the Normal sub-tab, you can control the background type, border radius, padding, and width of the product item container. Under the Hover sub-tab, you'll be able to set the background type, and border radius for when the user hovers over the product item. In the Image section, you'll find the same two sub-tabs, Normal and Hover. Within Normal, you can configure the background type, color, image, border radius, and padding. Under the Hover tab, similar styling options are available, allowing you to fine-tune the appearance of images when a user interacts with them. Now, let's move on to the Content section. Just like before, you'll find two sub-tabs here, Normal and Hover. Inside the Normal tab, you'll have access to several styling options, including background type, border radius, and padding. These allow you to control the overall layout and spacing of your content area. Switching over to the Hover tab, you'll find the background type option, which lets you define how the content should look when a user hovers over it. Next, we have the Title section. This area gives you full control over the look and feel of your product titles. You can easily adjust the title color as well as the hover color for the title to ensure it aligns with your design. There's also an option to set the margin around the title for better spacing. Right below that, you'll find the typography settings, which allow you to personalize the font style in great detail. Following that is the Category section. This section also includes two sub-tabs, Normal and Hover. Under the Normal tab, you can define the color and background type for your category labels. You'll also have control over border type, border radius, padding, and margin, giving you the flexibility to shape and position the category text just the way you want. Below these settings, you'll find the space between control, additional typography customization options, and a box shadow setting to add visual depth. When you switch to the Hover tab, you'll be able to customize both the color and the background type for when a user hovers over the category text. The next section is Price. In this area, you can set both the regular price color and the sale price color, depending on the pricing strategy you use. There's also an option to set the margin for spacing. Just below that, you'll find another set of typography controls where you can fine-tune how the price text appears again. Moving on, we have the Rating section. This one is pretty straightforward, offering just two customization options, Rating Color and Active Color. These control the appearance of your product's star ratings and how they react when selected. Next is the Badge section. Here, you can define the border type, border radius, padding, and margin to control the layout and spacing of your badges. You'll also find settings for space between and typography to help you style the badge text to your liking. At the bottom of this section, you'll see three sub-tabs, Sale, Trending, and New. Each of these tabs gives you the ability to change the color and background type individually, making it super easy to highlight specific product statuses with distinct visual styles. Now, let's take a look at the Add to Cart section. This section also contains two sub-tabs, Normal and Hover. In the Normal tab, you'll be able to configure the color, background type, and border radius of the button. Additional controls for width, height, and typography let you refine its size and text appearance. In the Hover tab, you can customize the color and background type to give your Add to Cart button an engaging hover effect. Finally, we have the Action Button section. This area includes options for setting the border type, border radius, padding, margin, and icon size, allowing you to style these utility buttons just the way you like. Below that, you'll see two sub-tabs, Wishlist and Quick View. In the Wishlist tab, you can define the color and background color for the button in its normal, hover, and active states. Similarly, under the Quick View tab, you'll find the same set of customization options, so you can maintain consistency and style while tailoring each button's look and feel to suit its function. That's it. Once you've placed your hotspots and customized the design to match your brand, just click the Save button and preview your changes. The Image Hotspot widget makes it easy to create interactive, engaging product showcases. With smooth transitions, responsive behavior, and clickable hotspots, you can highlight key product details and features in a visually appealing way, boosting both user engagement and your store's overall design. That's a wrap for this video. Thanks for sticking with Ultimate Store Kit. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and stay tuned for more helpful widget tutorials. Well, see you in the next one.